and welcome to the second episode of On the Couch. We move from, well, let's say not really science last episode to applied science this episode. I therefore invited Dr. Thavida Maneewan, Deputy Director for Research at King Mongkut Institute of Field Robotics. She is one of the leading researchers in the field of robotics here in Thailand and will provide us with insight into the future of the field. Let's have a look at the future. So welcome, Dr. Thavida, to the show. Thanks for joining.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
So, looking a bit into the future, I think it was a mathematician, John von Neumann, who coined the term singularity with respect to technological progress. And can you maybe explain what the technological singularity is?
Well, I am a roboticist, so I think most roboticists have agreed that we will have a being, an entity in the future that we can basically put our intelligence into that being.
Like upload our brain?
Yes, basically, to explain it easier like that. So you can upload your brain, your experience, and you can have that kind of being in the future when you die. So your body would die and decay, but then your intelligence will be there in the future.
So it's like the hope to live maybe forever for the humans?
Something like that. But I don't really know what kind of form it's going to be. Because for me, I'm a roboticist. So I like the idea of building some basically machine, that intelligence. But with the singularity problem, in a way, it doesn't really have to be a robot.
Okay, so as I understand it, singularity means that when machines become more developed than humans. Is it a way to put it, or when technological progress is speeding up at a very fast pace?
Yes, could be something like that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't touch humanity because it's like the word is quite big itself. So,
right.
Yeah. So it can be intelligence that in the future it might be different.
Yeah. You wanna make a guess when this will happen?
Oh no. I can tell you when the robot gonna play soccer with like World Cup champion is 2050.
Okay, so that's your prediction?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Maybe we'll do a program in 40 years and check this prediction.
Oh, wow, I will be old then.
Okay, so if we're gonna reach this stage that maybe computers or like artificial intelligence will be like more advanced than humans and the robots become self-aware, what are the implications of that? What can happen then if robots become self-aware?
I think you will before that there will be the stage that robots will be very useful and it might not even have the self-awareness yet. So if the robot can actually do the task that human doesn't want to do, like clean up your house,
right,
or like clean these windows, for example, that level doesn't need self-awareness, but it will be useful. But I'm actually not sure that self-awareness would be a good thing.
Right.
In the sense that it was, if I were put to do something I don't like, and I don't want to do.
So maybe if the robot is self-aware, it just says, no, I don't want to do that anymore.
So I'm curious what's going to happen in the future, because as a roboticist, I would want to build a machine that will be useful for people, for humans.
Yes.
But if it's going to be to the level that it might not be useful anymore,
Yeah. And even it can happen that the robots suddenly decide we don't need humans anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe they will eliminate us just because if they can.
In theory, yes.
In theory, yes.
Yes, yes.
So we never know it's gonna happen or not, right?
Yeah, but it's still far away from the technology today, though.
True.
Because we have a lot of limitation in terms of like hardware and software
Yes.
that contribute to that level of advancement in robotics.
Yeah, but if we gonna see at the horizon that we could reach this point, would it still be desirable to wanna reach this point, or is the risk just too high?
I think it's really about the purpose.
Yeah.
So if you really have this great purpose of solving this problem for something, then it will happen.
Yeah.
But if it's just a whimsical idea of somebody, it might not be happen that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's everything is pushed by the needs. So if people,
By the needs from humanity.
yeah,
Yeah.
by the needs that if we really need to solve like energy problem,
Yes.
we will solve it.
Yeah.
And I mean there will be other problems that unsolved because there are needs here that we have to solve that problem first.
Yeah.
The same thing in robotics.
Okay.
So if you have needs, then you will have people that work on the solution for that. But for something that not sure why, I don't think we're gonna put a lot of energy in that kind of problem.
Okay, I see. So, but you, I saw in an article you talked about Asimovs Laws. Can you quickly explain what it is and?
So the three laws of robotics.
Right. Yeah.
So basically, people always quote that.
Yeah, maybe it's because it's interesting.
The idea is that the first law of robotics is that robots would not harm human.
Right.
I don't know if I would remember all the three laws.
Yeah.
But the whole idea is that the robot will try. It's okay for the robot to protect itself,
Yes.
but it cannot harm human.
Right.
So to summarize it, the robot can do everything to protect itself.
Himself. Yeah.
But to the level that it will harm human, it will have to stop,
Okay.
and it will never ever harm human.
Right.
But this is in real life, not like none of the robots in the world actually embedded with that thought.
Yes. So, but do we already think about building these laws into the robots, or at the moment they are not so advanced that we need to build it in, right?
Well, it's an ethical problem. So it's like when you make a medical device, you have to make it safe for human, right?
Yes.
So in robots too, when you operate a big machinery, there are rules and regulations that you have to install. Like you have to have a laser fence for the robot in industrial setting, or you have to have a mechanical way that it was automatically stop when it touched a person.
Yes.
Things like that. Roboticists have to implement that into the robot.
Oh, so you try to implement this good behavior into the robot.
Yeah, so there are safety regulations.
Right.
But there are not such things like Asimovs like laws of robotics.
Yes.
So the robot doesn't see that, okay, embedded in my chip that I can't harm human.
Okay.
It doesn't even know that this is human.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
Yeah. So, talking about ethics, I'm sure that your work could be useful for the military sometime or someday.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you deal with the possibility that your work will or might harm other people?
For myself,
Yes.
I will actually, there's a lot of talk with military, so I always tell them that I don't work on weapon type robot.
Yes.
So the problem related to weapon or something that can harm human, I will not work on those kind of problem. Only work for technology that can help preventing those destruction. But you really can't avoid it when you work in this type of technology.
Right, because you never know what technology might be useful in the
Yes.
future for warfare.
Yeah, because people can easily apply your idea and apply that to the problem in military or some like terrorism. But the thing is that I think it's about teaching. I'm also a professor.
Yes.
So that's one thing that I try to make all my students understand, that we are handle this as a knife, you know. Technology is like a knife. So you have to know how to use it. So you have to have your moral, like you have to have ethics when I give a talk.
Yes.
Or interview. So I try to make people understand that technology has two sides. And sometimes it's not even obvious, like military usage.
True, yeah.
Sometimes even you build an autonomous vehicle.
Yeah.
And you might get into some issue that what if your system like cause damage to some
True,
other
yeah.
lives.
But you still would feel bad if it would, some of your ideas or developments would lead to weapons or.
I would feel bad, but that's why I even feel that I need to work even harder to develop things to compensate.
Yeah.
Because if there might be one idea that people use in the wrong way,
Yes.
but if I have like other hundreds ideas that better.
So this will maybe compensate the
Yes,
damage.
yes. So everything in your life is like that.
True.
You can't really say that like every word you say people gonna use it in the right way.
No. Yeah.
But you just have to make the deeds.
Yeah.
And building robots is the same way. So you solve problem, you building robots, you teach students, and then you just try to do that in the good side
Okay.
as much as possible.
Yes. There's nothing else you can do with it.
Yeah, and I think there's so many problems like in Thailand, in the world, that you can use technology to solve it. So by choosing not to do it, I would feel like, why would I withdraw my intelligence and keep it to myself and not contribute to the world?
No, that
Versus like
doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, doing something and then propagate your good idea, propagate your values, so that people in the next generation use it well.
True.
And do something even better.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's hope so. Yeah. So, what are the projects you're working on at the moment which excite you the most, maybe?
Well, I have a lot of projects at the moment. So there are things like we're gonna apply in agricultural sector in Thailand. For example, the robot that we're gonna use it in coconut orchard. So now we have some kind of problem in the coconut orchard in Thailand.
Yeah.
So we're gonna build this low-cost robot that can solve this like pest management problem, for example. And it's also I also work with industry, so we do a lot of inspection robots that instead of having human go into these kind of extremely dangerous area, and like sometimes like high place that you can climb like 9-story high with the unsafe structure. Instead of that, you build a robot
for doing that.
Yeah, for the inspection type.
And it's also the private sector financing this research, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
So these type of research now we have funding from private funding like factory or like the project that I'm working at the moment is for electricity generating authority in Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have that kind of functional robot.
Yeah.
And also for the side of more like technological advancement, so I have like my humanoid team.
Yeah.
So now we try to, for example, try to use like verbal, like speech, to coach the robot.
To coach the robot. Yeah.
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 So we're gonna do experiment called like verbal coaching. That we're gonna like talk to the robot so that it can play better in the field, for example.
Okay.
So that's like some exciting things, and I on my free time I'm building the cat robot.
A cat robot.
Yes.
What's that all about?
I really think that cat is very interesting animal. People think it's intelligent, but it's not because it obey our command.
Mm-hmm.
Because cat really represents some kind of being.
Yeah, they have their own will.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and that's the thing. I really like the idea of like objective-driven kind of being.
Like these autonomous beings.
Yes, so cats set their own goals.
Yes.
And it has a certain behavior that not too complex. It's not like chimpanzee or something like that. Like even crow is very complicated.
Yes.
But cat is quite has a limited set of response and behavior.
Yeah.
But it's also like you've never seen any robot in the world right now that you look at it and even think that that is as smart as your cat.
Yeah. Not
Right?
at all. No.
Right?
Yeah.
So we so far out. That's what I say about like we still so far from the intelligence level of human. I never seen a robot that act like an animal for real. And that's my goal. Because I probably have like 20, 30 years left.
We hope so at least.
Oh
yeah.
well, like the time that I can be productive in this world, right? So I really hope that at least I can achieve that type of intelligence.
Yeah.
And if I understand how can I build a robot that can react to environment as well as a cat,
Yes.
that would be wonderful.
This would be your goal.
Yes, that's my goal. So I really, well, a little bit give up in my lifetime to build a human.
Okay.
Because I think it's
too far
complex.
away.
Yes, but I really hope that I can build a cat.
Okay. Okay, very nice to talk to you. Thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
Ah, now it worked. So it doesn't look like the robots will take over soon and domesticate the human race. It is more likely that they will assist us and make our daily lives more comfortable. Thanks again and stay tuned for the next episode.